Let's have a beautiful experience. In this video, we're going to be talking about exercises like edging and kegels, which help make your penis bigger, thicker, longer, stronger, and harder, and also raise your human growth hormone and testosterone. How you guys doing? I go by Jesus_Detroit on Instagram. Snapchat, I go by YOUNGDAYGO. And in this video, I want to really, talk about how to properly do these exercises. I follow, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Montague Chia. He'll tell you about doing kegels throughout the day, and he says to do about 300 of them. Now, if you guys have never done a kegel and you're not familiar with it, it's basically, whenever you go take a piss, it's when you stop it. You know what I mean? It's that ability to be able to just clench it and release it, to clench it and to release it. Or when you get hard, when you're able to when you're able to make it dance, you're able to make it bounce. That is that's what we're talking about. That's the strength that you're going to want to improve. And the benefits of this is prostate health. And that might not be something that you're thinking about, but down the road, it could be something that can benefit you tremendously. And, I think that anything that can help out in that department, it's something worth doing. Now, Montague Chia, he's from Asia. He says to do 300 of this a day. I've learned how to, just do it my own way, because you don't have to, you could be doing this while you're driving. You could be doing this in the office. You could be doing this even in line at a grocery store. Now, it might not be the most, comfortable situation for you, but, to each their own. So what I've done is I like to incorporate it when I do my yoga or any other type of, working out at the gym, like when I got the right proper, range to do it. So when I do my yoga, I call it Groga, because it's about, not only making your muscles bigger and making yourself, more connected to source, but it's about, growing, and not just, it's about making your penis bigger. It's about making your muscles bigger. It's about making you the best you that you can be. So whenever I'm in certain poses, like when I do yoga, I'll find that I can, do the squeeze. I can do this. Like, if I'm in the namaste pose or whatever, I can, I can squeeze it there. If I'm doing a balance and a crane, I could do it there. And when I get down into the squat position, this is where I find the most benefit, because squatting, for one, if you know anything about it, any bodybuilder will tell you, it's the king of exercises. Everybody's got to do them. You got to squat. You got to squat, but you got to bend down. We understand that the squat is a beautiful exercise and it's important. But I want to really tell you that it's not important about how much weight that you're throwing on your shoulders, because not everybody needs to do, 400-pound squats to, raise your testosterone. It's about being in this position. This is what's helping you release the testosterone. And a lot of guys, when they squat with all that heavy weight, I talk to bodybuilders, they'll tell you that their penis goes in like a turtle. You know what I mean? And counterproductive in my, physiology of how I want to be. I want to have the biggest penis I can have and the biggest muscles I can have. And this is where, this is your root chakra. I want to bring it up. And this is where I start, grounded to the earth, your testicles, your penis, everything there is important to make you grow. So being in this position, I wouldn't recommend doing the Kegel with weight on you, because, you're susceptible to, you can get injured. And like, I wouldn't want to have anybody get, hernias or anything of that nature. And you're just better off just, going with what you're comfortable with. So whenever I'm in this position, I usually hold it for a couple minutes, and you know, you could do a few squeezes like that, and I feel like, you know, is it necessary to count them out? If you feel like it, I usually have a timer going when I'm doing my groga. I like to pay attention, you know, do about a minute, because I'm moving through positions as I'm going. It's like, you know, I do my stuff for about an hour, and you know, the intention is always set on making my muscles bigger, making my penis bigger, making me naturally raise my testosterone and human growth hormone. And that's something that should be always incorporated whenever, you know, whatever you're doing. Like before cardio, it should be in your head that I'm setting the intention that I'm going to be burning the fat around my waist. I'm going to be sculpting my Adonis lines. I'm going to be making my, 10-pack abs deeper. I'm going to make these things brick-like. You got to have the vision, and you got to be able to just bring it to fruition. So anytime that you're doing something, you got to always set the intention. And it's not like you have to be like, oh my God, did I forget to set it? It's just like, don't think too hard on it. But, just when you get to it, it's just a good practice to get in. So for anything that you do, always set intention. I get in this position, I'm setting the intention that I'm going to be releasing testosterone, human growth hormone, and I'm making my penis bigger, wider, thicker, longer, and stronger. So I go like this, I squeeze out a couple kegels, and I know that that's making me stronger. And then, you get up, go throughout your next positions. Now, anyways, we'll get you going there, man. It's a real deal exercise, and for some of you, heavier people, that could be a total, depending on how much you weigh, that could be a lot of weight on your knees, on your joints, and it's something that's going to definitely make all that stronger in that area. Another thing that you should be doing is definitely, squeezing the glutes, taking time in between, like the kegel. You don't have to just like, okay, I'm doing this, and I'm, you don't want to, basically, you don't want to be doing everything at once. You don't want to be squeezing that and squeezing your glutes and squeezing your calves and squeezing everything. Just kind of, just take your time, feel what feels right. Don't overthink it. You know what I mean? As long as you're doing it, and as long as you're mindful of what you're doing, that's the key. It's not about, oh my God, I did 300, I got to do 100, I got to do this. Just do them. You know what I mean? And you're going to definitely notice a big difference, a huge difference in the next coming weeks. And as you get in the practice of it, it just becomes, just natural. And then you'll be doing it like, when you're in line, at the grocery store or wherever, it just feels right if you're, just wherever you're at in that particular time. So kegels is definitely something that's simple to do. Everybody should use them. Even like, women can do this too. Like, it's just, but we're talking about you. We're talking about making your penis bigger and raising testosterone right here, and how to just be the best you can be. So another exercise that I will preach every time is the just ultimate exercise for penis growth, for human growth hormone, for testosterone. It is the holy grail of every exercise, and it's called edging. And we're not talking about, getting the weed whacker out and edging the grass over here. We're talking about, being able to last. We're talking about getting as hard as you possibly can. This is the key. Getting yourself as erect as you can make it. We're talking throbbing hard. You see what I'm saying? Shaking that up. I want you to understand where you got to be at, because, a lot of people aren't aware that your penis has different levels of hardness, different levels of arousal, and different pressure levels of where you can ejaculate at. And, of course, Montag Chi, he will tell you that you shouldn't release, you shouldn't ejaculate every day. Something that I agree with. He's got a chart. If you're in your 20s, you wait every 2 days. Your 30s, it's every 4 days. You know, I've shown the chart in other videos. I'll leave a link. You know, maybe I'll put it up in this one, who knows. But be as it may, you know, I don't think that you have to follow any chart, you know, like even recipes or anything. It's like you got to find your own way, you know. So he's, you know, like I said, he's from the East. Take his chart, cut it in half, find you. You know, if you're in your 20s, it's a good idea to wait a day. You know what I mean? You're in your 30s, waiting 2 days. If you're in your 40s, it's like wait every 4 days. I think that not every load is created equal. And this is something that I know. It's something that, you know, you should understand where you're at. I mean, like, unless you're having that earthquake and body shaking, just explosion, that's where I understand that you're going to want to wait multiple days in between to fully recover. But if we're just talking about, you know, more than likely you're not in tune with your body, and you're just having like a daily release load, or just like you're not even really aware of what your load's really, you know, of your ejaculation, like what it really is. It's like you just wanted to go, yeah, you know, if you wanted to just feel good, you know, and just get that release. Because, you know, most people that are going for sex or masturbation are just going for that explosion, and they're not really thinking about how that is the healing orgasm, and that can do multiple wonders for your body. This is what has been practiced for 4,800 years. This is something that Montague Chi, he will explain this to you, that this goes back, and people would like do this to make themselves, like, you know, heal. And I'm utilizing this to make myself grow. You know, I'm using my orgasm to make my muscles bigger, to make my penis bigger. I set the intention. And that's something that, you know, maybe some people just naturally already have the inclination to know how to do that. But I'm telling you, if you're going to be, you know, edging or, you know, getting to that point, you got to have the intention of what you're holding off this orgasm for. Because when you get to the point of, like, when you're about to go, like when you're just about to release, he says about 80%. And depending on, you know, your ability, you might explode, you know what I mean? But let's go back to what I'm talking about with where your load's at. Because you could be, you know, you could have that pressure of where it's easy to release, but your full load isn't been like, you know, it hasn't been fully like cured. You didn't get up to that 100% level where you're just gonna let it, like, where it's gonna be your biggest explosion. You know what I'm saying? So, number one, your hardness. Focus on making it as hard as you can. Number two, focus on that when you get to that release, backing off. You know what I mean? So you want to back off on that release. You don't want to just throw it out there. And if you're doing that, you're doing beautiful. Just breathe it in. You know, he always says, and this is something that I do, whenever you feel that release, just take it and just breathe it from the source, from your root chakra all the way up to your head. And when I'm doing that, like I said, I got my intention set of why I'm doing it. I'm doing it to make my penis bigger. I'm doing it to make my muscles bigger. I'm doing it to raise my testosterone. And even without thinking that, it's going to do that naturally, but it's just a practice that I like to be in every time that I do something. Like, even if I drink green tea, I'm doing it with the intention that I know that this is, like, full of antibodies, and it's going to be making my hair, you know, it's going to be making my hair thicker, and it's going to be keeping me stronger and keeping me beautiful. And that's, you know, anything that I do, I always like to set the proper intentions. So anyways, like I said, you get it as hard as you can. You get to the point of where you want to release, you back it off, you breathe it up. And the thing that you really need to, if you really want to do the wonders here, to make this the ultimate holy grail exercise, this is what I claim the fame right here. Super edging. all right? You get it throbbing hard. You're shaking, right? You're about to be 80, you're like, like when you're at this point, I like to pull from the base and pull on the head. And that's where you can kind of like just really, because you're getting maximum blood flow into your phallus. And that's where you're going to be able to just get that extra inch. You're able to just keep, just pulling it up. And it's going to be making it fill, just get bigger and bigger and bigger. And that is the key. So the more you pull on it, and like when you're doing this, you're going to be at that 80% mark. You really got to know where you're at. You know what I mean? And you'll understand that, all right, sometimes you'll go past it and you might be fully charged. Like when you're doing that motion, your ejaculation, your sperm, your, all that stuff could be at 100%. And then when you're doing that at 100%, that release is going to be huge. And it's going to be, it's going to go everywhere. But, that's a beautiful thing too. You're going to get a great release out of it. But if you're able to supercharge it and make it, when you're able to take that kind of release and really just get that into your body, that's where you back off and you go to bed. That's why I always say edge before bed. And some of you might be thinking like, well, no, if I go that far, dude, this isn't for you, man. I'm telling you, it's all right to back off, man. You got to be able to, we're not just masturbating to fall asleep. We're masturbating for manifestation. You understand? Like, this is to give yourself a bigger penis. This is to give yourself more testosterone. This is to make yourself more youthful. This is to keep you being the best you that you can be. This isn't just about jerking off and going to sleep, unless that's what you do, to each their own. So another thing that is, beautiful about this is you're going to be able to be, porn star quality in the bedroom. And, you might be thinking that you are already, and I'm sure you are a star. But this is going to make you a superstar. It's going to make you even better. And what's wrong with being, there's nothing wrong with being better in any aspect of you. This is all about enhancing in any way that you can. You want to go to the gym and get bigger biceps. You want to be able to bench press more. Why not be able to last longer, and be able to ejaculate and keep it hard without a synthetic, without being on Viagra, without being on Cialis. That is a total game changer. Not to say that, you shouldn't use that every now and then if you just want to have some fun with that. Hey, to each their own. There's nothing wrong, It's a beautiful thing. So, because like I said, this goes back, my whole method here is basically being your own source of like steroids. You're putting yourself on a super cycle that you ain't going to be able to buy online. You know what I mean? I have my own, Big Cock Collective, where I teach people how to grow their penis bigger. I got my own classes. You can get at me on Instagram. I have an email you can get on my list. I have programs that can show you this. But right now, we're just talking about how you can just, incorporate these motions in your everyday life. And it's going to definitely help you out every way that you can. So being able to just keep yourself growing, showing, glowing, it's a beautiful thing. So back to what I was saying about the levels of the edging. The super edge is definitely the best. It's something that you might have to work up to. Another thing that you might need to use, and something that I like using, is something called a cock ring. And there's people that use these things for just, like decorative purposes, just to kind of like fill out their pouch better when they're, if you're a stripper or whatever, and you want to really make your package, the bulge show, or just want to have fun with it. That's usually what they do. And when you're doing that method, it's usually you're putting it around the base and the balls. And I don't agree with that method. That's not the way I like doing it. When I wear a cock ring, I wear it as a growth ring. I put it right down the base of the shaft, and I just get that extra just blood flow, just really just like that. You're getting extra veins going is the goal. You know what I mean? You keep that on. I've kept them on you keep it on for over an hour. You're going to definitely notice some serious growth after wearing one of these things. I've done it for about, the longest I wore one was for about 3 hours. Do not recommend that. It's you'll learn as you go, and you'll find your own flow of where you want to keep it on at, you know. And I feel like 2 hours is definitely, it's fun, you know what I mean? Because when you're done wearing this thing, like, your piece is going to be hanging a lot heavier, it's going to be looking a lot, you know, it's going to be looking beautiful either way, but it's definitely going to be hanging heavier and just be this big piece of meat swinging at the knees. And that's the goal anyways. I mean, we want to have, you know, depending on you, like, where, you know, how big is too big, right? You know, I feel like if it's right here, then you know, that's where I want to see it. Too big, you know, too thick for hands to grip. But again, to each their own. And, you know, cock ring, definitely something you should incorporate. Just so, you know, but I recommend not buying those cheap ones at the sex shop. You really want to find yourself the right one, and, you know, just talk to the people there. They'll definitely guide you in the right way, because a lot of them, like I said, are more gimmicky, more decorative, and just for people to just kind of, like, you know, like, you got bodybuilders that even wear cock rings, you know. You got, I don't want to like name names, but I mean, you could pretty much tell when you're like looking at a guy's package, like in his underwear, and it's like, why does that look, why is there this up here? And, you know, like, there's something about Mary, he got the bean above the frank, like, you know what I mean? So anyways, you know, it's something that you can either have fun with in that nature, but this is all about growth. This is about making your penis bigger, thicker, harder, longer, and stronger. So just put it on the base, really just throb it up, and focus on, like I said, you know, just pulling it a little bit, you know, at the head, you know, and you got that full base just holding all that blood flow. You're definitely going to grow. I guarantee you're going to notice some serious growth within 30 days, you know, depending on how serious and adamant you are about doing this. You know, you're going to definitely notice a better you, because, you know, like I said, a lot of guys, they're not in tune with what they got going on down there. You know what I mean? Like I said, most guys, it's like a fish tank, you know, which is why, like, you know, I'm comfortable being naked, you know, like, and a lot of people, like, you're around people that are naked, and they're like, "Ooh, what's going on?" You know, it's, you gotta be able to, you know who you are, and understand that we are all, you know, we're all beyond this. We're all beyond the body. So might as well have the best body that you can have, and be confident in the skin that you have, and let's make it grow. Let's give each other the confidence to just, you know, love one another and just enjoy being here, man, because, you know, you never know when we're going to go back to where we came from or wherever you go. I mean, you might as well enjoy it while you're here. You got the sun shining, you know, there's always a reason to smile, and there's nothing better than, you know, as a man, you know, making your penis as big as you can. That's a beautiful thing. So if you guys got anything out of this video, I hope to help you grow. I hope to grow my channel and make beautiful things happen. I want to get you guys involved in the Big Cock Consciousness, the Big Cock Collective, where we just put out big cock, beautiful messages to make ourselves grow. It's something that's always flowing, and I will keep everybody always growing. So make sure you guys hit the bell notification, you know, subscribe to the channel, spread the word around, get in my inbox, get on my email list, and I'm definitely going to help out everybody every which way that I can, because I want you to be the best you that you can. I want to give you the confidence that you deserve, and I want to make your girlfriend, partner, whatever, I want to really make them impressed with how great that you can be. So I hope you guys have a beautiful experience, have a beautiful day. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.